Hello, and welcome to an exclusive look at the weapons of Bite the Bullet. Now right off the bat, we're going to get started here with our assault rifle. This is your standard gun that you have when you first start the game, and the primary fire has infinite ammo. You'll also notice that there is a secondary fire that lobs out little grenades. Each weapon in the game has a primary and secondary fire, and all have different types of functions. As we switch to our shotgun here, you'll see what I mean. Now the shotgun is pretty self-explanatory. It's a short-range, high-powered weapon. You're not going to do much damage from far away, but up close you'll do just fine. Now the secondary fire of the shotgun actually sends out this little dove shield. Now this basically just blocks projectiles and circles you until the doves are gone, at which point you can then send out another one if you'd like. Keep in mind this weapon only has 20 uses, so use them wisely. Now, a quick little side note, if you saw our booth at TwitchCon this past year, you may have noticed that this level looks a little familiar. That's because this is the level that we demoed. Now you'll notice that the background is very different and the overall aesthetic looks a lot darker. We've also added a lot more enemies to this level to increase the balance and just to increase the overall variety. Now, switching up to our next weapon, this is the Critter Cannon. This weapon fires out little creatures, and they all explode on impact. You'll also notice that they bounce, so they can ricochet off walls, and whenever they can come in contact with an enemy, they will explode, or if they stay on the ground long enough, they will explode after about 5 seconds. Now the secondary fire on the Critter Cannon actually launches out this little trampoline critter, so rather than exploding, you can actually use it as a jumping pad. This is great to use for kind of difficult jumps. So if you're trying to cross a big gap, you can launch out one of these guys and jump on them, and you can also double jump and dash to get increased length. This here is our Railgun. It's a gun that shoots out these really high-powered rails. It's one of the most powerful guns in the game, but keep in mind you do have to be pretty accurate with it. This weapon starts out with only 50 ammo, so without upgrades, you're going to have to use this weapon pretty conservatively. The nice thing about the Railgun, though, is that it can take out a lot of enemies in just one shot. Next up here is our rocket launcher. One thing you'll notice right away with the rocket launcher is that there's quite a bit of recoil on it. And the secondary fire actually launches out a homing rocket rather than just a rocket straight out. The rocket launcher is great for clearing out enemies that are really high in health, so it's really great for use in boss fights. Last but not least is our Flamethrower. Now again, Flamethrower is a pretty self-explanatory weapon at first, but our secondary fire is where this weapon really shines. Now the Flamethrower just shoots out a stream of flames, but the secondary fire actually lobs out a fire grenade. And that fire grenade spreads out over a small area, and that will damage everything in its path. This is great for situations like this where we have about 5 or 6 enemies all at once, and it'll take them out pretty quickly. This is another one great for boss fights because you can lay out a lot of damage really quickly with it. We hope you enjoyed this quick little look at Bite the Bullet's weapons. Bite the Bullet releases in January 2020 on PC, Xbox One, and Switch, and you can wishlist the game today on Steam.